exposing the truth behind the lies, and fighting for the freedom of awareness. Listen at your own risk. America's first competition talk show. You're in the hub.
Good day to you. I'm Joel Aaron. Thanks for joining us on the Hub Internet Show. Joined all week long by Dr. Freedom, Benita, Daniel, and Dr. Joel. Two doctors on the end of the table today. You can vote on the winner of the face-off debate that happened 2 days ago on Wednesday. Was it Benita? Was it Daniel? And we'll tell you the winner. But post your votes in the comments section of the YouTube video, and we'll let you know who won next Wednesday on the show. All right. I got to rant about this again because for 5 years, if you followed when I was doing radio or now on the internet show, they have been doing these traffic cameras at intersections for several years here in Georgia. And the argument has always been, this is a way to raise revenue in the local community. And I swear to God, they put these things in place and traffic violations go down. Can't believe it. Traffic violations actually go down because of the installation of the cameras, because people don't want to pay the fine. So when they work, they don't pay for themselves. And that's the problem. You put these things in place, and if they work, then it's a waste of money to the community. So my argument is, you know, for one thing, I mean, I guess they do work, but you don't want them to work, because if they work, then it delegitimizes the reason for having them. You can't pay the monthly bill.
Nobody maintains. I don't think anybody really maintains that that's a revenue enhancer. They maintain, from the government standpoint, that this is a public safety issue, that they have to stop these things. And that's where I come from. I mean, it's clearly a revenue enhancing move. It's a revenue enhancing move. I don't know. I haven't seen revenue.
Well,
but
for whoever the group is that
tickets go up.
Yeah, for whoever the group is that manufactures these things, it's a definite revenue enhancer.
That too.
They've got a new system now, though. It's called Speed Spike. Have you heard of this? They're actually looking at taking these pictures now from a satellite image. They can get you good weather, bad weather, rain or shine. They can find you from 12,000, 13,000 feet above the ground.
And they read the traffic. They read the tag how?
It's points. It's based on points on the grid where your car starts, where it ends, and it calculates the time it should take it to go from here at point A to point B. Under that, if you get there faster, they know you're speeding. And that is how they're slapping the fine. So Oh, yes. So potentially 95% of the drivers on the road now will be paying tickets on a bi-monthly basis, I believe.
It's like
Dr. Freedom.
Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line in freedom? This is crazy. You can track somebody constantly. Why don't they put something in your car that just sends you a ticket every time you go over 55? And if this was about safety, what they would do is if you go over 55, you get a ticket. Then they're going to put like a little something on your private parts, like a shock.
Taser.
Exactly.
It's a shocking experience. He's still living.
One of those dog things. I had one of those. Dagnabbit.
You scarred
for
life.
But basically, it's like you go over the speed limit, you get shocked. If they wanted safety, that's what they would do. Instead, they're sending you a ticket. They might as well just send you a ticket anyway. It's like take tax money from it.
I kind of sort of like his style. Let freedom ring. All right.
I disagree completely. I think
Joel disagrees.
I think it's a very efficient way to use technology to keep the roads safe and to have the policemen or the police force, the peace officers, doing something other than watching the traffic, like actually looking for meth labs or doing something more productive than issuing tickets.
I can think we want to talk a little bit about that. There was a topic moving right along. Last week, Barack Obama gave the commencement address at Michigan State, during which he said there were about 100,000 folks in the room. And of course, that had nothing to do with the fact that any of them were incentivized to be there, like they had $60,000 or so riding on their incentive to be in that room that day. And everybody else in the room, I think, had to be there because, I don't know, they raised them. So, that's one way to draw a big crowd to your speech. Anyway, Barack Obama, President Obama, is speaking to this group, and during this time, he makes a comment that we have fallen into a lot of angry rhetoric in the country of late because those who would denigrate government, as he said, as inherently bad. And use some off-baseline attacks, ignore the fact that in a democracy, government is us. And that when we launch this kind of angry rhetoric, we tend to appeal to the extremes, and it draws the extremes into doing, I don't know, extreme things. On the face, it seems fine, but honestly, the rhetoric I've been seeing has been coming from both sides. And when was the last time we were a democracy it's inherently bad? If you don't place enough faith in your government.
Yeah, I don't recall them asking me whether, as government being us, I don't recall them asking me whether I wanted to bail out GM. Or any of the other organizations.
Or Greece.
Well, you did. You just didn't know it until they told you, because if you hadn't, it would have been unsustainable and we would have all suffered. These were companies too big to fail.
And probably the unemployment rate would have increased
so they really
if we hadn't done this.
They really did you a favor.
Which
you just
would be a
weren't
good
seeing
thing
far
then.
enough down the line.
Well, our representative
Joel.
form of government is how we voiced our opinion. So our representatives did that, no doubt about it. But what I think Obama is trying to do is differentiate between those who complain about what government does as opposed to those who complain that government exists. And I think that's what he's focusing on, is those people who say that government is inherently bad and should not exist. And I think that's where he's trying to pull back those who are fanning those flames, as opposed to complaining about what government does, which is completely legitimate.
Well,
And
I wish
think
his
that's what he's
teleprompter had been a little clearer on that.
Well, but that's the thing. I mean, who is saying that government is inherently bad and that we don't need no more government? I mean, other than the very, very far extremes, if it is really, really on the far extremes, then there's really no reason to bring it up in a debate that's nationally televised. It's on the extremes. Don't give them more credit than they deserve. If it is legitimate, then you got to show me where it is legitimate, because no one I've talked to in the mainstream is saying that we should get rid of government. Everyone agrees government has its function.
But don't forget, he's talking in Michigan.
These people are fast. We don't got jobs.
You check out unemployment, it's third world up here.
I don't understand it. I don't
Dr.
understand
Freedom.
these people who are thinking there are extremists out there who are anti-government or something. Dr. Freedom is not an anarchist. Dr. Freedom is for pragmatism. The problem is these idiots in government. They're idiots. They do dumb things. It's just like this BP oil spill out. The oil's messing around. It's getting on lobsters and shrimp and crustaceans and stuff. And the people in Congress, they're going to say, oh, let's just stop drilling offshore. Well, we need that oil. We need to drill safer, but we need the oil. What else are we going to do? We're going to live in caves. We're going to get it from terrorists who want to blow us up. The Al-Qaeda people, they'll sell us their oil. We need the oil offshore. Drill here, drill now, pay less.
And that's another campaign platform. You're going to get them all before the end of the week.
I hope so. Dr. Freedom for Lieutenant Governor, Georgia, 2010 on Facebook.
And that's LT hyphenated. All right, here's one of the other comments he made was that reading from President Obama's speech, the financial meltdown dramatically showed the dangers of too little government. When a lack of accountability on Wall Street nearly led to the collapse of our entire economy. Did I miss something, or was it really too little government? I think it was too much government to begin with, and I guess we fixed that lack of government on Wall Street by hiring Wall Street to work in government. That's by and large the administration we've got
growing
right now.
industry is government.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about right now confirming a Supreme Court Justice, Elena Kagan, who was on the Goldman Sachs board, for God's sake. We're talking about Luis
She's that person
Caldera.
that looks like Pat from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the way she looks. Not necessarily qualification,
Janet
one way or
Reno's
another.
daughter.
Well,
You need to let Daniel speak.
Or
He
son.
is.
But you've got, but the point is here, you've got Michael Froman, was with Citigroup. You've got Lawrence Summers, who was with Goldman Sachs. You've got a lot of folks on the administration, and this has certainly been true of others. I mean, virtually every administration. So I don't want to just demonize the Obama administration here. But the point being, the problem wasn't that we had too little government. That wasn't, in my reading, what got us into the economic free fall that we're experiencing now. Joel, am I off base?
Oh, I don't disagree. I think there's plenty of government available to be tapped into. It's just not being used appropriately or effectively. I think we don't need more government. We just need whatever mechanisms are there need to be utilized much, much better.
Yeah. A little less porn viewing, Securities and Exchange Commission. We'll see you in court. See you on Monday on the Hub.